It is time. History will be made. Novak Djokovic into his 11th Australian Open final, going for number 25, and Carlos Alcaraz into his first Australian Open final. There's no Jannik Sinner. It is the Spaniard versus the Serb, and this is our preview.
That's right, the moment we've all been waiting for. It is the final of the Australian Open on the men's side. And once again, he is back. Novak Djokovic makes the final of a Grand Slam. I wasn't sure I would see this day again. And I'm sure that goes the same for a lot of Djokovic fans around the world. So I think I'm going to start this preview just by saying, just enjoy this. Take this moment in. And for non-Djokovic fans as well, appreciate what you're witnessing at the moment. And I don't know how long we've got Djokovic for, but for while he's still here, really, really do just enjoy watching this guy play tennis. Because when he's gone, you're going to miss him. That's for sure. So well done to both players. They both had epic wins in their semi-finals. Alcaraz had to struggle his way back from what seemed like an impossible position of cramping. Djokovic was 2-1 down against the two-time reigning defending Australian Open champion, but both used their heart and will and expert skills to get themselves into the final. I'm so excited for it that, well, you can probably tell. Where do we go first? Do you want to touch on Alcaraz first, or do you want to talk about Djokovic? I know we did Djokovic yesterday.
I want to talk about both of them first.
Okay,
the reason I say that is because I'm looking at the match. It's going to be 8:30 a.m. UK time, so morning in the UK. We've got the world number 1 versus the world number 4. They know each other inside out. They've played quite a few times. We'll go into the head-to-head in a second. In terms of the odds, we have Djokovic at 3.5, Carlos Alcaraz at 1.3. So he is still the heavy favourite, but nowhere near the level of favourite as which Jannik Sinner was against Djokovic in the semi-final. I think a really good place to start is how they got here. So they've both played really tough semi-final matches. One against Sinner, one against Zverev. Who's going to recover quicker? And how important is that recovery in the outcome of this result?
I think by listening to post-match pressers and what's been going on since they finished their matches, Djokovic, he is saying that he believes Carlos, due to his age, it is just only natural that he will recover quicker in time for the final.
Is that him just taking the pressure off?
I don't think so. I think he knows how people, how players' bodies are, especially when you're at that type of age. He probably knows how quickly his body recovered when he was at that age. And plus, we saw even Carlos recover from cramp within 2 sets as well. And in the 5th set, actually started to come to life again and actually was playing some of his best tennis again. I don't think that there's no injury there for me for Carlos Alcaraz. And this next match isn't going to be played during the daytime either. It's an evening match. So he's not going to have the same level of heat and trouble to contend with. So that's out the window. And Djokovic, similar. He didn't have any matches leading up, really. He didn't have struggles. He only had this match against Jannik Sinner, which was tough. But I think his body hadn't been through the wars beforehand. So I think it's quite even, the recovery time, if I'm perfectly honest. I think it puts it on a very even keel. But I think the thing that is going to help probably Carlos Alcaraz in this match is, as much as it helped Djokovic, somehow he won it in the night match. I think this will help Carlos Alcaraz, this match being at night.
Okay. I've sent you a tweet now, which, on what you're saying, I do agree. I think it is, I'm not sure how much of a factor it's going to have, but I think Alcaraz marginally should be able to recover quicker due to his age alone.
Yeah,
But
I think so.
Djokovic, out of anyone, he's going to be there. I just hope we do get a really ultra competitive match where neither player has cramping issues
Yep.
or any injuries or retirement. I want to see a match played in its duration, which is competitive. We see a good level of Djokovic, a great level of Carlos Alcaraz as well, and it's an ultra great match. This tweet I find very funny because you've got the old generation, the new generation, and the next generation. And Djokovic is part of the past, present, and the future. You can see him there with Alcaraz, Sinner, Runa. In the middle with Medvedev, Tsitsipas, and Zverev. And at the top with Roger and Rafa and Murray.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? Djokovic transcends generations, and to still be competitive. Bear in mind, look at all of those people at the top there. We got Rafael Nadal, Roger Federer, and Andy Murray. They're all pretty much, I mean, obviously Roger's a bit older, but Murray and Nadal, similar ages to Novak Djokovic. And for Novak Djokovic to now be beating the likes of someone like Yannick Sinner, and last year he beat Carlos Alcaraz this tournament as well. It's completely wild that he's able to maintain a level at the top of the sport where he's sort of playing as a level like a world number one. When he's on his best day, he is the best player in the world still, which is crazy to say that Novak Djokovic is still able to produce a world number one style level at 38 years old.
Well, he's almost 39. It's not
Yeah,
long at all.
no.
Ronaldo was in Saudi Arabia at this time. Messi in the MLS. Nadal retired. It's very rare for someone of this sporting greatness to still be doing it and still beating the likes of a Yannick Sinner. I mean, Yannick Sinner, people know how much I like him. I am still really disappointed, by the way. It does hurt because I really did truly believe in Sinner that he can do this year. And I wonder if it's going to knock his confidence slightly because I think he felt this air of invincibility around himself and his game. And it'll be interesting to see how Yannick Sinner bounces back. I think mentally, because he's so strong, he will be fine. And he'll put this to the back of his mind as just a learning experience. He's already said that he needs to maybe serve a little bit better. And he's very focused on getting back to that train, to the practice courts and putting the wrongs right and improving as a tennis player. But yeah, with the other lens, you've got to be quite pleased the fact that Novak Djokovic has defied logic and done something which, like we're saying, a lot of great sportsmen have never been able to do at this stage of his career. He
You
now
got,
goes into this
yeah.
final where it's really close. Go on.
Yeah, I was going to say, you've got to remember with how big this win is as well, which I don't think I've seen anybody really touch on, is Yannick Sinner has made the final of the last 5 Grand Slams. And the last time he lost before the final was against Daniel Medvedev at Wimbledon in 2024. That's insane. So that just goes to show the level Yannick Sinner's at. He won the US Open in 2024, won the Australian Open 2025, was in the final against Alcaraz in the French Open, lost it, won Wimbledon, and then lost the US Open final. So for Djokovic to end that run of finals for Yannick Sinner at Slams, I think that's one of the most incredible things as well, because we were expecting, I think most people are expecting, oh, it's Carlos Alcaraz, Yannick Sinner for the foreseeable. No one else can really get in the picture. There's only one guy who can mess up the party, and it's been Novak Djokovic. He defeated Alcaraz last year, obviously, messed up the party then. So we had Zverev versus Yannick Sinner. And now this year, he's done it again. The cat amongst the pigeons.
But
Novak
maybe,
Djokovic.
as Novak Djokovic says, this is maybe the reason why he's in this final because of people doubting him. I've sent you a good quote, and it says, "I never stop doubting. I never stop believing in myself. But there's a lot of people that doubt me, and there's a lot of experts all of a sudden that wanted to retire me, or we have retired me many times in the last couple of years. But I want to thank them all." Because that gave me the strength. They gave me motivation to prove them wrong, which I have tonight. For me, it's not a surprise, to be honest. I know what I'm capable of. And it's a classic tale, really, over Djokovic's whole career, where he was obviously chasing Roger and Rafa in the early stages. And there was a lot of doubts that, is he going to be good enough to be able to compete with them? And now in this back end of his career, people are writing him off, saying he's not going to be able to do that. How many crowds have gone against him over the years? And that's fueled him. We've often said on many watch-alongs and podcasts, when the crowd go against Djokovic, it gives him that extra fuel to find another gear. And I think all of this talk about how we've been doing it, that he can't compete with Yannick Sinner and Alcaraz, has been the fuel he needed to find that extra gear and that extra motivation. Because when you've got someone who's won everything, what kind of motivation does he still have? He's rich. He's got loads of. He's got a nice family with all this money. He's won everything in tennis. Why does he still play? I think a lot of it would be to prove people wrong, like he's done for most of his career. And this is a typical case of it. So write him off at your own peril. I know I've done a lot of it. So probably I have. Well, I don't know if he listens to Game to Love or listens to me, but I've done some kind of a percentile.
He knows of us. We know that for a
There's
fact.
a percentile of impact I've probably had on maybe some people, spreading this narrative that he's done and he can't compete. And I may have contributed in some small way to Djokovic's success right now. So I just want to take this opportunity for the Djokovic fans to come out and thank me.
Yeah. Maybe
including you.
He can thank me as well for my prediction for writing him off in this Australian Open, which I think, do it at your own peril. And the one thing that does worry me a little bit, and this is something I'm only just thinking about now, and it's only because of this topic that you've just brought up just then, which is an interesting one, of saying he's always having to prove people wrong. The other side of things is he obviously does well when the crowd is against him. The one time I've seen the crowd for Djokovic, US Open final, trying to complete the calendar slam against Daniel Medvedev, he lost in straight sets. Daniel Medvedev.
But they were with him against
that's
Yannick
the problem. Sinner. They were with him for that one, but then that wasn't a final though. The final thing is a different thing altogether, and that's the thing when you're trying to achieve like another milestone. I think that's the difficult thing to get over the line. The semi-final, for some reason, as soon as the way he was playing, as soon as you see Djokovic playing in that style, I have this like feeling inside of he could beat anyone, like a confidence while you're watching him. I'm like, God, if he continues that level, which is never certain, but if you know in your mind as a Djokovic fan or just as a tennis fan, if he continues playing like that, there's a high chance he will win this match against anybody, because he was playing so high level against Yannick Sinner. So if he brings that again in the final, I'll believe. But
that's
if he
against what you said in a way, because he had all the crowd support.
But it wasn't
all
a
I saw was
final.
cheering, no lay,
But it
the
wasn't a
Serbian
final.
flags, everything.
But
And
it might be different every tournament. Obviously,
I don't think it will be now, Ben. I honestly think Djokovic, because he's the underdog now in these matches, and there's not that expectation, people want him to win more. People love an underdog
and it's
story.
the twilight of his career. People love seeing, like Stan. They wanted to see him go as far as possible, because you don't get to see this again. Maybe not. Maybe you do get to see it next year. But this is the finite part of his tennis career. It's never going to last forever, and he will now gain more support due to it, especially in Australia.
Djokovic will last forever, Ben. I think he's got another 30 years.
I'm hoping that he comes back as some sort of cyborg after he retires and takes on the rest of the tour. But yeah, every tournament's different. And I think if there's any tournament which is completely different, obviously the US Open's a completely different tournament to Australia. So I'm only throwing that one out there as just one where he was more in his heyday, I would say, even though he was still in the latter end of his career. It wasn't this far into it as he is now. And he was trying to complete the calendar slam. So he was the dominant force. Now he's not the dominant force. That's why he's getting more support. And I'm just very interested in Australia. Like you alluded to in the post-match reaction, he's played 10 finals, won 10 Australian Opens in Australia. And that's the big takeaway in Australia, I think. He's pretty much the man to beat. And you can make Alcaraz the favourite. And Alcaraz is great in slam finals, but he's still lost some of them.
My question to you is, who's going to get more of the crowd support in this final, Djokovic or Alcaraz? Because I believe
Djokovic.
it's still going to be Novak Djokovic.
Djokovic will.
I don't think it's going to play a massive impact where it has done for most of his career, because now his fuel is not necessarily the crowd. It is the external noise of journalists, the tennis world, other fans, just tennis fans, really. And there's been so much noise on when are you retiring, keep chasing different players, when the BBC where he got frustrated, and all this talk of you can't compete with Yannick Sinner and Alcaraz anymore. And I think that is his fuel. I don't think he needs the fuel from the crowd anymore. And I reckon he's still going to get all of the support in this final. I say all of it because Alcaraz is someone who's very charismatic, there's not many people who dislike him. He's one of the good guys. I feel with Yannick Sinner, if you had to do like a graph of like the villains and the heroes, Yannick Sinner is a villain. Alcaraz is a hero.
He's a Marmite. He's in the middle.
Federer and Nadal, they were the heroes. Zverev is on the villain side. Rune's on the villain side. Djokovic is on the villain side.
Oh, get him off the villain side.
He's always been. This is just kind of like the way it's been.
That's the media narrative, though. We can't believe
Alcaraz. Let's be fair. There's not many people who dislike Alcaraz. Djokovic fans like Alcaraz. They have respect for him. I don't know anyone who doesn't like Carlos Alcaraz.
Yeah. I mean, you'd be hard pushed to find someone.
He's a really nice guy who plays a really exciting style of tennis, who you kind of will on. And there's going to be a lot of support just from being Carlos Alcaraz. With Yannick Sinner, that's not necessarily the case. Of course, I've got my Italian roots and other incentives, and I have a connection to him in a way where I quite like his style of play and him. But not everyone does, and they do look at him as a bit of a villain, like Novak Djokovic.
Yeah, for sure. Carlos Alcaraz, he is prime time, and he sells tickets. That's the one thing. Everybody will be there to watch him because he's entertainment value. Win or lose, you are going to get 100% of effort from Carlos Alcaraz. I don't think he's ever just given up in a tennis match in his life. I don't think he knows how to give up. And I think that that's the one good thing we have with both of these people, well, both of these players in the final. Djokovic and Alcaraz both have those same traits. Never say die attitude. And Alcaraz probably, it's hard to say actually, more firepower, because the way Djokovic was hitting the ball in that semi-final, I think
you're writing him off again, Ben.
He's going to be on the back foot. If Djokovic, I'm telling you, if he hits the ball as clean as he was hitting against Sinner, you're on the back foot. There's no one who can play with that level so consistently and stay in the rally and be able to win the rally. Djokovic was struggling through some of them because Sinner, obviously, is going to have the legs on him. But that's why Djokovic was trying to shorten the rallies, hit bigger, move Sinner around, use some angles. Just seemed to work. And Djokovic's serve is so important in this final. He served great against Sinner. If that drops off and it goes below like 60% or something, then he might be in trouble.
Right, before we get into the prediction, let's see what's on the line. So, Novak Djokovic winning his 25th Grand Slam title, or Carlos Alcaraz becoming the youngest ever player to complete the career slam in men's singles. So, history's on the line, whatever way you look at it. Rafael Nadal will be in attendance in the final, which is going to be exciting. I'm sure they'll pan the camera to him many times. And he said, honestly, I have mixed feelings because my story with Novak is spectacular. We have competed at the highest level for many years, and I wish him the best. Honestly, if he won, I would be very happy for him. But on the other hand, Carlos is my compatriot, and we have shared important things at the Olympic Games. I have to support him. In any case, there will be no drama for me, no matter what happens. What do you make of it? Is he going to be there with the Spanish flags cheering on
Yeah.
Carlos Alcaraz?
He's definitely going to be cheering on Carlos Alcaraz, that's for sure. I understand the respect for Novak Djokovic, but him and Carlos, I think that it's like a big brother or even father-like figure in a tennis respect with Carlos, and the fact that they've had the Olympics together and they've played. I even remember when Carlos won Miami, he was like, "I'll give my trophy to Rafa just for his," because obviously Rafa struggled in Miami. There's all of those things tying them together. There's a lot of love there, a lot of comparisons, and he's now carrying the torch for Spain after Rafael Nadal, and he will want that more than anything for Spain to always have the best tennis player in the world. He won't want the Yannick Sinner to become world number one again, because if Alcaraz doesn't win this and then Sinner has a better year, could see Carlos in number two, and that's where, sad to say, Rafa spent a lot of his career at number two. He probably wants to see Carlos spend the majority of his career at number one.
Okay, let's get into the predictions. It's a shame we don't have a button anymore. Maybe we should start reintroducing that so I can press a predictions button, but we don't have it. So maybe we'll do it for the next Grand Slam. And let's get straight into it.
It's actually funny you say that, because last night I was obviously watching a lot of Djokovic stuff and watching a few, and then I clicked, one of our old videos popped up, and it was the one for the preview of this match for the Olympic gold medal match. And we had a predictions song that was played beforehand that was for the gold medal match, which you said was totally biased in favor of Novak Djokovic that I just created with AI. But yeah,
we'll bring one back. Maybe not a biased one then.
Yeah, maybe I will. And obviously, if Djokovic was to win, I'm under pressure, because every time Djokovic wins a slam, as you know, I have to be on my bike trying to get a song out as quick as possible. So I've got that on my mind as well. It's a heavy weight, a heavy burden for a big Djokovic fan, but it's one I so relish. So, yeah, let's get stuck into it, JG. Maybe I'll give you a little song for this.
Alcaraz, career Grand Slam. Djokovic for 25. Who is gonna win? Who is gonna win? Who is gonna win? Who is gonna win? History's on the line.
There you go.
I'm just glad it's over. I mean, second-hand embarrassment through the roof. Apologies to the subscribers there.
Just lost a few, I think.
I think so. I'll go first to save you singing again.
No worries.
I think I don't know what's going to happen, and I think I've been wrong an awful lot of late. So probably what I'm going to say right now will be the opposite. So bear that in mind. But I am going to be going for a long match between the two of them. I don't think it's going to be straightforward for either player. I think, like you've said and alluded to, they both have so much fight and this attitude that the match is never done, that I feel like it's going to be either 4 or 5 sets. It can't be straight sets in my eyes. Djokovic leading the head-to-head. Alcaraz won the last one. The two before it was Djokovic. I mean, it's just Djokovic has done better against Alcaraz of late, really. I mean, Djokovic prefers playing Alcaraz to Yannick Sinner. He's just beaten Yannick Sinner. So it's scary. But I will be going for Carlos Alcaraz to win this match. And I'm going to be having him win it in 4 sets. And 4 really tight ones. I think maybe the 4th could be like a tie break or a 7-5, something like that.
Well, there you go. I've got the heads up on the screen and the previous matches. Last time they played, US Open, semi-final, Alcaraz in straight sets it was there. The time before that was obviously the Australian Open quarterfinal. Djokovic won in 4 sets, and it was a dramatic one. He was saying, "Oh, I'm a bit injured," that type of thing. He was limping, I think, for some of that match, but still won the match. Those are the only 2 we've got to go off. Both hard court slams, both big matches, 1 apiece. Djokovic undefeated in Australian Open finals. He's going for number 11. Alcaraz, first Australian Open final. We know the pressure sometimes gets to Carlos Alcaraz as well in big moments, but he does rise to the occasion as well. This is a massive moment for him. If he wins this, it's the career slam. Just trying to imagine how they start the match. Who comes out the quicker of the two? I think it's going to be Alcaraz winning the first set. Based upon their last two matches there at Slams, you can see Alcaraz won the first set 6-4 in both of them. I'm going to go with the same thing. I think it's going to be a first set to Carlos Alcaraz, and I think it will be similar. It will be either a 6-3 or a 6-4. We're going to see the same level of fight, though, from Novak Djokovic. He's like Diesel. I heard someone say that yesterday in the Yannick Sinner match. Like, is Djokovic a bit more like Diesel now? They used to call Stan Diesel because he takes a while to get going. I think Djokovic is a little bit like that now as well. Takes a while, gets a set to get into it. And then the second set, Djokovic's going to take it. Same as against Sinner. We're going to be one set all. Third set's the big one. It's going to be a tie break, third set. We haven't seen many tie breaks from Djokovic. There was none in his semi-final. It's going to be a telling one. Third set, Djokovic wins the tie break. It's going to be 2-1 up. Alcaraz is going to show some fight. We actually are going to go to 5. And then it's going to be the big fifth set again. Everything on the line. We're going to see a medical timeout as well. I was thinking of maybe inventing a GTL bingo card first. I mean, we can say, what things do we think are going to happen in the match? Pick 5 things and then see which ones come in. But I'm going to go for it. I've been the doubter for too long now. And Djokovic has made me see the light. And if he makes it this far in a tournament, especially in Australia, there's going to be no denying. Alcaraz, don't forget, there's a stat where he's that good. Was he 15-1 in 5-set matches? That's another stat which is going to take a dent in this match because Djokovic is going to defeat Alcaraz in the 5th set of the Australian Open final and lift his 25th Grand Slam title.
Well, there we go. You've heard it from us. That would be monumental because he would have beaten Yannick Sinner in the semis, Carlos Alcaraz in the final. Have to go right up there in Novak Djokovic achievements, and there's a long list of them. Maybe right to the top, really, especially right now, the way them two have been playing. But yeah, we've both gone for someone different. I've gone for Carlos Alcaraz in 4. Ben's got Novak Djokovic in 5. Let us know your prediction of this final in the comment section, and let's get ready for the big match. It's going to be 8:30 UK time. Not sure what time that is in Australia. Assuming
I
early
think
evening.
they're 11 hours ahead, I believe. So 7:30 evening, I think.
Yeah, something like that. So, yeah, hopefully you can all watch it. It's not a bad time. Make sure, if you haven't already, hit the like button, subscribe, and we'll be back to give our reaction the moment the match is over. So see you very soon. And let's go, Carlitos.
Come on, Nole, 25.